Hey everyone, and welcome to Afro Rooted, the African Football Podcast. And today we're talking about Edouard Mendy. We're going to talk about who he is, where he played before, his current situation at the moment, and what's next for him, as he is Africa's best goalkeeper at the moment. And yes, sorry, Morocco fans. And as always, I'm Agaazi, joined with Eyu and Kenea. So I want to ask, he's kind of going through a rough time at the moment with Chelsea. But okay, before we even get into the Chelsea part, like, kind of, just tell me a little bit about the guy. Like, what's his like kind of quick story, just in case for folks who don't really know much about it.
I mean, Edouard Mendy, we all know him as Africa's best keeper. But before he became Africa's best keeper, he was brought up in Le Havre Academy in the north of France, famous academy where the greats like Pogba, Payet, and everybody played. And then he found himself in a limbo. Didn't know, he was unemployed, went from unemployment to the success he now has in 5 years. The story's out there for any of you guys that don't already know. Played in Reims, played in Stade de Rennes, and now he's at Chelsea, man. And then he was never first choice in these teams, and he was always written off for the most part. And then ones that did see the value in him.
I feel like he actually he did become first choice at like what was his second club?
Rennes?
Yeah. Didn't he like? Wasn't he first choice when he brought them up, and then he was first choice when Stade Rennes got into the Champions League?
I mean, he wasn't first choice at Rennes actually.
Good
when
point.
He came in, he was
first season though, and then second season he started playing more.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying is, like, he was not always like the first choice. Like, he had to work for his spot. Like, he had to cement his spot in a short amount of time. Stade de Rennes, where he was first choice, but then Marseille, second team where he was at, he was not the first choice.
Yeah.
In the fifth year of French football.
Yeah,
so it wasn't an
sense.
easy come up for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense. He always given that he was coming out of unemployment,
and he's still being written off today, which
right
brings us to our point, right?
Yeah.
He's won AFCON. He's won Champions League. He's been FIFA's best keeper, and we're still writing him off. So it's a story of resilience when we talk about Edouard Mendy for me, man.
So let me get this straight then. All right, so let's fast forward. We know about the Cinderella story, but let's kind of fast forward to today. We're like, he's a AFCON champion, Champions League winner, and also FIFA best. He's won everything. He's won most of these trophies. But I kind of don't get it. Like, things have kind of soured, and I'm seeing him more on the bench than on the grass. What's the deal with that at the moment?
It's a big problem for him, dude. I don't understand the disrespect he's getting on Twitter. I don't understand the disrespect he's getting from his coach. And then now they're offering him a 6-year contract, like, as if he's gonna waste the rest of his career at Chelsea. Nah, like Edouard Mendy is no one's second choice goalkeeper. I'm just gonna put it like that. But where did it go wrong is an interesting question, because I think somewhere, like, we knew that Tuchel's team towards the end of last season was starting to like dip off, and then like kind of the falling off the cliff for him and Tuchel. It feels like their form was aligned, or their fates are aligned somehow. Whereas when they lost against Leeds away, when Jesse Marsh was still in charge. Brendan Aronson picks the ball off Mendy, and then he scores that tap in. That was like a big, oh man, this is bad. And then he gets dropped for the next game against Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League. And then that was Tuchel's last game. The next game was Tuchel's last game, and then Potter comes in. Kepa gets 6 clean sheets in the next 10 games, and it's a mess from there, honestly. Mendy does get a chance. If you guys remember, Kepa gets injured for a bit, and Mendy plays
right before
4
the World
games.
Cup, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then he plays 4 games. One of them was half of the game against Brighton, but they lost 3 of the 4 games. Again, it was Arsenal and Newcastle and Brighton, so all 3 of those teams are above Chelsea now.
Understandable.
Probably much better
that's
than
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like that position is, first of all, it's an unforgiving position, right? Like, you get scored on, like, your team does bad, you look bad, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's very unfair to put those results on the shoulders of Mendy. And I feel like he's just not victim, but like it's a very unfortunate circumstances for him. Like, Chelsea doesn't have a clear direction as a team where they're going. They're in shambles, right? I think Eyu described it best in one of our episodes when he said it's a scattergun business, man. They're just all over the place with it, man. And right now, like, Mendy needs to think about his future, man, because it is really unacceptable for him to be second choice keeper, and also he's very undervalued in the team that where he is right now at Chelsea, And
let me ask you this then, kind of on that point, then is it kind of like the end for him at Chelsea? Like you just said right there, he's second choice now. I mean, we all know it, but like,
it has to be.
Is it kind of like the end?
It has to be, bro.
Yeah.
What is he like? Why would he stay? There's nothing for him there. They're paying him half of what Kepa is making. They're not playing him any minutes. Like, there's no reason for him to stay. Like, I know actually he has a couple of years left, or like 2 years left for his contract, but there's absolutely no reason he should sign a new contract. It's just crazy.
To add to that, man, I feel like Chelsea had the chance to make the statement where to tell him, hey, look, you're still our first choice keeper. Maybe give him a certain conditions and like show that they're they need to show him they want him there, and he's part of the new project. And I feel like they've had that chance and they've blew it. It seems like he doesn't. The contract negotiations are pretty much came to a stalemate, and now he's just left thinking about his future because like they're clearly not thinking about his future. We've seen it with Hakim Ziyech. Now we're seeing it with Edouard Mendy. It's like, I don't know, man. He especially needs to consider like where he should go next, because as a goalkeeper, there's not a lot of slots that are available at these big teams. So, but he has the potential, or like he has the capability to play at any team. But
it's unpredictable.
He just needs to think about the right fit, man.
How can you commit to Chelsea without understanding what your role or what your position is at the club? Like, they could bring in 6 goalkeepers next summer, and we wouldn't be surprised by it, because that's the type of business they're up to.
Man, here you go, Alpha Chelsea.
Nah, honestly, look, I'm gonna speak from the heart, if you guys will allow me, real quick. We don't see enough black goalkeepers in the game. We have to protect our black goalkeepers. I'm an Arsenal fan, but definitely. I will always be a Mendy fan as well.
100%, man. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I loved seeing him lift the Champions League trophy, man, because it was big for us,
Yeah.
You don't often see a black goalkeeper. You don't often see an African goalkeeper in the big stages. We only have him and Andre Onana that are like playing at top clubs.
Then okay, all right then, boys. Then what's next for him? Then? I mean, like. A lot of clubs, even Aston Villa, have a top goalkeeper. Where does he go next?
Yeah.
Where are some of the top teams?
Well, I think we know the types of teams that he's being linked to. It's kind of like that. Not exactly the top tier of clubs, because most of those teams already have their goalkeeping situation figured out. But the one like right underneath that, so the Spurs second tier. Second tier. But if you go into most of the top clubs, like the Napolis, the Real Madrids, the Arsenals, the Man Cities, the Man Uniteds, like most of these teams already have goalkeeping. Their goalkeeping situation already figured out, right? So, what are the clubs that are being linked to him? I think he's linked to Nice and Monaco, who are like just monitoring the situation. And then heard a crazy shout from you guys actually of Spurs, because Lloris is he's not looking good.
He's injured now. Lloris is on his way out. Maybe he's slowing down in his career in general. Because
he is. Yeah,
he recently retired from international football. We saw. He's 36 years old, so might be looking for another challenge elsewhere, because I feel like he did everything he can in the Spurs, right? So I feel like maybe that's a good place for him to go. But who knows? Because they're also figuring out their situation. And we also saw recently Conte went on a rant about his team, so I don't know what's going on there either.
Crazy rants. Crazy.
So you don't know. I really don't know where their situation is, but I would like to see him at a team like that, and he could strengthen a team like that. I know we're not big Spurs fans, but
without going too crazy, bro. Imagine this summer. Pochettino probably comes in like international break because they're probably gonna get rid of Conte soon. But Pochettino comes in, they make Champions League, bro. Chelsea's not even gonna make Europa League. Like this is a step up if he goes from Chelsea to Spurs first team. He's starting goalkeeper at Spurs. But Pochettino comes in, they bring Edouard Mendy, who's still in his prime, bro. Goalkeeper's prime is like at 30s. So imagine he's gonna give them like 4, 5, 6 years at least. So bro, that's like a dream. And then they're actually their defensive line, maybe you need to replace like Dyer and Davies and stuff like that, but with Romero and the new kid Pedro Porro and Mendy, bro, that sounds like a good lineup to me.
To be honest with you, Spurs is a team where it's like, they've been kind of in the mix but never really won anything. But it's also, if you think about it, like if they have the right project, it's a great place to leave your mark and like to impact the team and like to leave a legacy, right? Like if you are part of a Spurs team that wins it for the first time in I don't know how long, like man, like that's
what legacy are you on about, bro?
Spot. He's talking about no trophy legacy. He's talking about the Harry Kane model where you're there for a little bit, but you don't really.
When was the last time Spurs won anything?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Boys,
but let's not get too you go from no trophy to trophies, man. You best believe you're gonna be remembered for a long time.
Mendy isn't a miracle worker, bro. He's not Jesus. Like he's just a goalkeeper, and all he's gonna do is make some shot stops. Like they had Lloris at his prime, and he didn't do anything either. So, anyways, let's go on.
Yeah.
But yeah, boys, wrapping up on that situation. So Nice, Monaco, Tottenham. Heck, even a swap deal with Inter was even once mentioned. Thank you guys, as always, for joining. Another great episode. And till next time.